Firstly, I would just like to thank whatever powers that may be on this planet, in this universe, in this whatever you want to call it, cosmos, I don't know what's bigger and smaller. Thank whatever there is that Roman Grosjean actually got out of his car. Well, half a car at that point. It was, the car had been split in half somehow. Half a car. And walked away from a literal explosion. The guy, his car exploded. Like, first lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix. It was just shocking to watch. It was a bit rank. Like, I remember when I was a kid and I'd watch Formula 1. Like, when I was a kid, I'd not really watch it. But when I was 15, 16, 17, I would. And me and a bunch of guys would watch it. And we'd always be like, oh, I want to see a crash. Not the type of crash where someone would get severely injured or injured. The type of crash where there's a pile-up of 6 cars and somehow, some obscure driver gets from 9th and gets on the podium because 6 cars have had a pile-up. That type of situation, as opposed to a real serious moment. But this one was one of those where you watch it and you don't really want to watch it again. It's not like a trick shot in basketball. Or it's not like somehow a car just flew off the ground and got like hang time of 7 seconds and landed perfectly back down and rolled into the pits like nothing happened. This was much more serious, but thankfully Roman is indeed okay. And that's the good thing. He does have apparently severe burns. Not a good thing. Burns can be very, very dangerous. Most people think, oh, he walked out good, but you don't know how bad the burns are, and that could be pretty severe. But that's the Formula 1 stuff. Thank goodness the man is chill. I mean, chill is probably the wrong word, because he was indeed just engulfed in flames. But, regardless of my own stupidity, and I'm very, very good at being awkward and weird at the wrong moments, but you can't really pick and choose. It just kind of happens. Get well soon. Roman, Mr. Grosjean. You're always someone who I looked at as like the cool guy. You're someone who I see, I'm like, that guy you'd get along with regardless, And I feel that's the kind of vibe he has in the pits and with everyone, really. So hope he does get well soon. Good. Hopefully he'll be on the tracks sooner rather than later and be picking up some points once more. So to football. And it was a very, very obscenely drab game. It was very snoozy. There was nothing really going on most of the time. It was the ball being pinged from one side to the other, to the other, to the other, and then nothing really happening at the end of the day. And that is weird. That is not a normality for this fixture. This is one of the most pent-up fixtures of the year. Chelsea Spurs, in my opinion, is maybe at this point a more crucial game to our season than the North London derby. I don't know why I feel that way. I feel it's been ever since that 15-16 season where Chelsea just ripped the title opportunity away from us in that last 30 seconds of the game. That one really did it for me. The Battle at the Bridge, that classic. It is indeed a classic game. You don't know Battle at the Bridge, you ain't been paying attention to football. It is a very spicy game. One of the most ridiculous matches of football and aggressive matches of football I've ever watched in my life. Today was much more tame. There were a lot of yellow cards, a couple of very filthy challenges, but, pretty by the by. I think a main reason for that is that both managers came in with the mindset of, yeah, we want to win. But a draw's okay though. We don't want to drop points. We don't want to get no points from the game. If we can force an opportunity or a mistake to be made, then great, then amazing. That's exactly what we want. And I feel that's how Spurs was playing. And I do feel Chelsea in some ways were similar. They definitely were more attacking. They were probing a lot more. But at the same time, they didn't have much end result. They didn't have many shots on target. I think probably shots on target was 1-1 or 2-1 at the end of the game. There weren't that many opportunities. But while Chelsea had a couple of good chances, Spurs also had a handful, especially in that first 30 minutes, of very good opportunities. One specifically in the first 10 minutes where Bergwijn should have really put one away. It was a tough chance, but the play and build-up play was so good up to that point in the space of 10 seconds. We should have been 1-0 up in the first 10 minutes. And if that had been Son, Kane, Bale, I think that might have been in the back of the net. And if you did watch the game, you will know that the first 15 minutes were so unbelievably cagey. It was like I was watching two people standing off against each other in a cage fight. Nothing was going on. It was like, I don't know what we want to do now. Let's just like back off each other a little bit. Let's not be going at each other. And I think that's kind of Mourinho's entire MO at this point. Sit back, take in the pressure, and eventually get on the counter. And it works most of the time. The way I looked at this game was, we have a very tough run of fixtures coming up. If we can get more points by playing in different ways, if we can get more points by not necessarily attacking all the time, then I'm okay with it. Because I'm not sure Mourinho's looking at these next 5 fixtures in the Premier League saying, we need to get 15 points from these 5 games. He's probably looking saying, we need to get at least 10. So we got 1, we'd still need to get another 9 points from the remaining 4 games. But if we'd lost this game here, then it would have made it more difficult to get more points later on down the line to essentially fit his metric and his rubric for how he's trying to play this period of the season, which is very, very quick. A lot of games, a lot of injuries are going on with a lot of teams, thankfully. Touch wood, touch wood, touch wood. Spurs do not be seeming to be having those types of problems right now. But they will come. It will happen. And you know, a depleted squad. We had it last year, and it cost us a top 4 place. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. If Son and Kane had been available the whole season, or for more games than they were out, I feel we would have got top 4 last year. And it didn't happen. That's fine. But this year, keep the lads fit. Rotate Jose. You played, and you played the way you wanted to. You didn't make too many substitutions, solely because you didn't want to give Chelsea even an inch at all. And I get it, but at the same time, maybe you need to go for things a little more. I'm not saying you did a bad job or the tactics were wrong, because again, Spurs are top of the table and I have no problem seeing Spurs top of the table again. But it is on goal difference and the top of the league is very, very tight. We lose 1 game and everyone else wins. We're down to 4th. Not good. Not good. Really, really not good. We have another bad result and we could be down to 9th place. It's just kind of the way the season is panning out. So I do not hold stock really in being like, we're top of the table right now. It's lovely, it's great, it's amazing, but it's kind of a bit of a false table. Maybe at the halfway point in the season, come 18, 19 games, then whoever's top, you can be like, we're top and we're killing it. But as of right now, it's a bit suspect. I will say that on a positive note, thankfully, Ndombele once more, while he had some wayward passing, while sometimes things weren't coming off, he had a very good game again. I saw this guy wriggling out of 3 players all on him at the same time like a contortionist. I was confused at what I was watching, to be fair. Then he got out of like a Thiago Silva, Kurt Zuma brick wall at one point. So how are you doing that? You're not that short. You don't have that lower center of gravity, but it's just the way he plays. He dips his shoulders so much that he just gets out of positions he shouldn't be getting out of, to be fair. I was watching it being like, how is he achieving this level of zen? I don't know. It's incredible though. And Ndombele, well done. You've impressed me a lot. Someone who didn't really impress me that much though was Joe Rodon. I don't know. He's not Joe Rogan. Nah. Joe Rogan is the G. He's the guy. $100 million man. Joe Rodon, I think is his name. Nah. Not feeling it. Not a very good debut, to be fair. You made a handful of mistakes. Not that great. I understand we got the clean sheet at the end of the day, so you have to get the props in some way, but you almost cost us single-handedly, while the back line basically made 1 mistake through all of them. Eric Dyer, Aurier, and Reggaeton, the Samba man as I call him, all collectively essentially made 1 or maybe 2 mistakes throughout the game. You made 3 or 4 on your own. If Tammy Abrahams had actually been able to stand on his feet, he probably would have scored a couple. If Giroud had had his shooting boots on, he would have put 1 away as well. So I'm not convinced by a senior Joe, but at the same time, he's a young gun. He's got time to learn, and I feel he could be a very good player. But once Toby is good, Toby is in the back line. And I think Mourinho knows maybe Sanchez has to start instead of Joe. Because that's just, I don't think I'm convinced by this lad so far. Obviously, it's all up for debate, and he's new. But put me Sanchez in there, please, instead. Just do it. Don't be playing this kid. Not yet. Not yet. So we were actually good defensively, all right? I do feel, though, that Bergwijn, Kane, specifically Bergwijn and Son, were playing as wing-backs like the whole game. 70% of the time they were defending. They were barely in the opposition half. Like, what's going on? Kane was playing as a number 8. It was popping, boys. I suppose at the end of the day, a point is a point, and a point better off than we would have been if we'd lost the game. So I'm not hating. Again, I'm just saying it's not always going to work. Not the most inspiring game of football I've ever seen in my life. When Serge Aurier has your best chance of the game from a shot outside the box, you know, I don't know how much is going to happen, but a draw is a draw. A point is a point. And you kind of move on. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Pierre Hjulberg himself will come after you. I call him the cyborg just because of what he does on the pitch. He terminates people. You don't want that. You really don't, so just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been Graham. We'll see you next time. That's tomorrow if you don't know, make a video every single day. Been doing it every day for over 2 years now. We ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe, pop back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content. So hashtag never not here. If you don't know, we also bring the bakwas. And bakwas means nonsense in Punjabi. And we do indeed also bring that. We bring a lot of things, but we bring that. See you tomorrow. Skadoosh.